Hey, what's up, guys? Today is November 9th, 2025. Just got off work. Pretty busy. A lot of people ordering food. I don't understand it. On a day like this, why don't people just stay home? I have no idea. But anyway. So, I'm feeling a lot better. I can safely say that I think I've pulled myself out of this hole that I found myself in mentally for the last month and a half, give or take. And it's just so stupid. It's stupid that I allowed it to drag on for this long, that I allowed it to affect me so deeply to the point where I began neglecting my own health. Like, it just, none of it was worth stressing out about. But it's easy to end up this way when you're in my position, when you're isolated, when you're alone. You get lost inside of your head and you replay these thoughts over and over again, and you let them control you. You lose sight of reality. You lose sight of the things that matter. And the reality often isn't what you think it is. And as far as my job goes, yeah, it didn't feel good to fully come to terms with the realization that I'm not valued at that place, but whatever, man. It's Tim Hortons. It's minimum wage. It's nothing to write home about. I'm not going to let it be a setback any longer. I'll try to find another job, hopefully something better, ideally before the end of the year, but it will most likely be sometime early next year. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep my head down and meet expectations. I only work weekends right now as is, so the time that I have to myself between Monday and Friday I will use as productively as I can and to invest in myself. And of course, when it comes to this girl, I was talking to a coworker the other day about this, and this is the same coworker who I opened up to before and told her that I had feelings for this girl, and I deeply regret it because I don't know if I could have trusted her, but if I'm taking her at her word, she has never told her this, and hopefully it stays that way. But I asked her, has she heard anything? Has this girl talked about me at all? And she said, no, I haven't heard anything. And that's when I told her that I think she hates me because I started avoiding her, and she might have gotten the wrong idea. She might think it has something to do with the promotion that she got at the time. I told her the real reason why I began avoiding this girl. It's because of what she had told this coworker. In the aftermath of us not texting any longer, she said to her that she thought it was lonely and asked her if I had friends. And, that really hurt. She said to me, well, I thought the same thing about you too, Jeff. And I get it. I get why people would think that. I'm quiet. I keep to myself. I'm reserved. I'm trying to change this perception. I think I've gotten better around people. I've improved my social skills bit by bit, but I still have a long way to go. I still have a lot to learn, and there's many more experiences that I'll surely go through in life. There will be ups and downs, but I'm growing. I think I'm growing, and I don't want that to be the impression I give people going forward. And even if that was the impression she had of me initially, to an extent, I can guarantee you it's not the prevailing reason why she had reached out to me. You don't text somebody for over a month purely out of pity because you feel sorry for them. That's not how it works. You know, like our texting would have died out long before. You know, this, if I had to guess, this is a justification that she went with because she felt guilty. You know, whatever was said between her and her boyfriend, you know, it likely didn't go down well with him when he found out, and you know, it was not a big deal, right? Like we were just friends. It never bordered into saucy, flirty territory. You know, I wasn't trying to, you know, hit on her. Like, no, like, it was never like that. But the fact of the matter is, we don't text anymore because of him. And it was already apparent that she was distancing herself from me, trying to cut ties just whenever I would try to talk to her, and she just seemed colder. And then I saw that she, you know, removed me off of Discord as well. So it's not necessarily a reflection on me, it's more so a reflection of her own guilt. It's easier for her to paint me as some kind of charity case as opposed to someone she genuinely connected with. She doesn't want anyone at work, and especially her boyfriend, to get the wrong idea. She doesn't want her boyfriend to get jealous, to get upset any further. So for her to simply say, oh, I was just being nice to the lonely guy, it allows her to massage her own guilt and regret in messaging me in the first place. But I asked this coworker, you know, I asked her, you know, if I should apologize to her the next time I see her. You know, because the way I went about avoiding her initially, you know, it might have came off as rude. And I want to try to make amends, see if we can, you know, be on neutral terms again, at least. And this coworker said, well, what would you say? Like, what do you have to apologize about? Like, you know, like, you're a dude. You know, it might come off the wrong way. Like, she might think you have some kind of ulterior motive. And yeah, the more I thought about it, it would be weird. Yeah, I don't work with her anymore. I haven't seen her in a few weeks, and who knows when I would see her again, if ever. And if I do, yeah, it would be weird if I pulled her aside, if I like cornered her and, you know, started saying like, hey, you know, I'm sorry for avoiding you, and, you know, I'm sorry if it came off as rude. Yeah, I can only imagine what her response would be. Like, it would likely not be positive. Like, she would be confused, uncomfortable, because this is not something she thinks about. You know, I'm not a thought that crosses her mind for more than 5 seconds. And look, I have nothing to apologize for. I never did anything wrong. I respected her boundaries, and, you know, she began distancing herself. You know, let her think what she wants. Quite frankly, I don't owe this person anything. I don't know why I convinced myself otherwise. Things are not going to go back to where they were. We're not going to be friends again, and she will never be my friend again. This connection was already heading to that point, even before I began avoiding her. It's unfortunate the way things turned out, but it was out of my hands. It was beyond my control. And yes, I know I caught feelings for her, I developed feelings for her, but those feelings were never realistic at any point. Even well before we started texting, well before we got to know each other, well before I even met her. Like, she has always belonged to this guy. And they are in a very committed, tightly knit, exclusive relationship. So, that's it, man. It's time to let this go and to move on. Like, really, I have to meet more people. I have to put myself out there more. And not be so fixated on one person. Like, this person is not my friend anymore. This person does not care about me. This person has already cut ties, and that's it. So, anyway, that's really all I have to say. I got pizza. Went to Domino's. So I'm gonna go inside and very much enjoy it. Peace.